Hello everybody, welcome back to another editorial analysis video, and today we have another interesting piece from the Hindu newspaper August 11, 2021 that we are going to analyze and break down, right? So I'm excited as always. I know you guys are too. As always, let's do this. Alright everybody, now let me show you the piece that we are going to work on and analyze and break down and learn from. Alright, and this is not one of those lessons where you just learn vocabularies. Most editorial analysis videos on YouTube are just about vocabularies. This is not one of those lessons. Here we'll be talking about the nuances, the technicalities involved in the English language. So we'll try to learn what is the subject, how does it work, how to find out what is the verb, what is the object, what is, right, different things we have in a sentence, right, and how to find them out, different types of phrases, different types of clauses, modifiers, how to find them out, right, how to identify them. We're basically trying to understand the language, right? We're trying to enhance our understanding of the language. So this is what we'll be focusing on in the entire session. All right, obviously if we come across a new word that we do not know the meaning of, or that I think is important to talk about, I'll be talking about that as well. All right, so without wasting any time, let's do that. Let me show you the piece. This is the very first page, this is the second page, and this is the third page. All right, so we'll start from the first page. We'll read the heading, the subject, right, the subheading. We'll try to understand from the information that is given in the heading and the subheading, and then we'll continue reading. All right, so the heading says eight archaeological sites where in Osmanabad become, this is the verb, become what? Part of revenue land records. What types of records? Revenue land records. So this is about archaeological sites where in Osmanabad, and this is about some records, revenue land records. This is what we can understand from this heading, right? Okay, what is the subheading? The subheading says move comes, this move, right? It's not perfectly grammatical, right? Move is a singular countable noun, so it's better to modify it with a determiner, which it has not been, right? It's not been modified with the determiner here. So the move, all right, the move comes after a local politician, encroached. Encroached means to take the control of a place, to take the control, to gain the control, or to take the control of a place gradually. All right, gradually. Okay, so move comes when after local politician encroached upon a historical pool, right? So the encroachment is also there, right? It's about archaeological sites where in Osmanabad, right? It's about some records, revenue land records. It's about encroachment, right? So let's continue reading and understand what this piece is about and master it. All right. So we'll read the first sentence. We'll try to understand what we have in there, and we'll break everything that we have in there. All right. Let's read it. Let's read it together. 8 protected archaeological sites at Ter in Maharashtra's Osmanabad district have become part of the state's revenue land records in a bid to preserve and conserve them. This is our first sentence, starts here and ends here. All right. Let's find out the subject of this sentence. All right. So 8 is a number, modifier, just give me a second. 8 is a number, protected is an adjective, all right, premodifier, archaeological again is an adjective, sites is a noun. So this is the noun, this is the simple subject, sites. So we have three modifiers, premodifiers. Number one, 8 sites. Number two, protected, these sites are protected, past participle. Protect, protected, protected. Archaeological, again an adjective, right? So these sites are 8 in number. These are protected. These are archaeological. Okay. Do we have the verb here? No. We haven't come across the verb here. So let's keep reading. 8 protected archaeological sites where at their so it's giving information about the noun sites, right? So it's a post modifier. It's a post modifier, right? At their, name of a place where in Maharashtra's Osmanabad district, have become. This is the verb phrase, have become. So what is the subject? The subject is 8 protected archaeological sites at there where in Maharashtra's Osmanabad district. This is the subject. And what do we have in the subject? Let's talk about it. Let's break it down, guys. So we have 3 pre-modifiers. We have 3 pre-modifiers, and these are 8 protected and archaeological. I'll say arc. Okay. And we have 2 post modifiers. We have 2 post modifiers. These are prepositional phrases. Prepositional phrases. So this is how you read a sentence. This is how you understand the meaning of a sentence and find out different parts in the sentence. Prepositional phrases. Now these are at there. This is the first prepositional phrase, starts with the preposition at. The second is in Maharashtra's, Osmana district, right? So the pre-modifiers 8 protected archaeological are giving information about the noun simple subject sites. Sites which are 8 in number. These are protected. These are archaeological. Where? At there, which is in Maharashtra's Osmanabad district. So the first prepositional phrase at there is giving information about the noun sites, but the second prepositional phrase in Maharashtra's Osmanabad district is giving information about the noun there, about the object of the prepositional phrase there. There, which is in Maharashtra's Osmanabad district. Got the point? So we have understood everything we have in the subject, which is a noun phrase. Okay. So wait, let's delete this. So okay, this is the subject. First of all, it's a subject. What exactly is it? It's a noun phrase. It's a noun phrase. It has a noun, right? It has pre-modifiers and it has post modifiers. Got the point? Okay. Let's remove this. All right. So 8 protected archaeological sites where there in Maharashtra's Osmanabad district have been is the verb phrase. This is the verb phrase. Have been what? Part of the state's revenue land records. Have become what? Become part of the state's revenue land records. So this is again a noun phrase. Records is the main noun here. Part of the state's revenue land. This is a modifying phrase that is giving information about the noun records. Okay, so we have the subject, which is 8 protected archaeological sites at there in Maharashtra's Osmanabad district. Have become is the verb phrase. The object is become part of the state's revenue land records, right? So these 8 sites have become a part of records. What type of records? State's revenue land records. Revenue land that are about revenue, right? That give you revenue. Okay. In a bid, why? In a bid to preserve and conserve them, right? So it's a prepositional phrase starting with the preposition in. In what? A bid to preserve and conserve them. So again, in preposition, a bid, noun, right, object of the preposition, bid, to preserve and conserve them. This is an infinitive phrase that is giving information about the noun bid. Okay, so these sites have become states revenue land records, a part of states revenue land records. In a bid, in a try, right, in an attempt. So bid basically means, let me write it down for you guys. Bid means BID, it means attempt, attempt or try. All right, okay. In a bid, in an attempt. Why? What kind of an attempt? To preserve, to protect, right, to keep it that way. All right, to keep the authenticity of that particular thing, right, so that it doesn't get destroyed or ruined, and conserve and save it, right, to save it. uh, right, so 8 protected archaeological sites are there in Maharashtra's Osmanabad district, have become what? This part of the state's revenue land. Why? In a bid to preserve and conserve them. All right, this is a simple sentence which has the subject, which has the verb phrase, right, helping verb and main verb. Have is the helping verb, becomes the main verb. Object is part of the state's revenue land records, and then we have a modifying phrase that is in a bid to preserve and conserve them, which is a prepositional phrase. And this prepositional phrase has two phrases, a noun phrase and an infinitive phrase. All right, let's remove it. Okay, right, second sentence, let's read it. The move which is a first in the state comes after the incident in the same district where yet another historical Mankavati Kunda, which is a pool. Kunda is a pool basically, right? Kunda is a Hindi word which means pool in English. uh, Historical Mankavati Kunda near the temple of goddess Tulja Bhavani uh, was encroached upon a local politician who made fake land documents by which he claimed the ownership of it. Okay, so this is the second sentence. Quite a long one, right? Let's understand what kind of a sentence it is and what do we have in here. All right, let's do it. So let's understand the meaning of the sentence first. The move, which move? Right, to making all these archaeological sites a part of revenue land records, which is the first in the state, and this is the very first move that this state took, right, or has taken. It comes after the incident. It was taken, this move, this decision was taken after the incident in the same district where yet another historical Mankavati Kunda, which is a pool near the temple of goddess Tulja Bhavani, near that pool which is near the temple of goddess Tulja Bhavani, was encroached upon, was taken over, right, got in the control of by a local politician. It was done by a local politician. A local politician did that, who made fake land documents, and this guy made fake land documents by which he claimed, right, whereby he claimed the ownership of it, right. So he encroached the property by making a fake document and claiming the ownership of the pool, right, Kunda, Mankavati Kunda. All right, now let's understand everything we have in here, and give me a second. Let me hydrate myself. Important. Oh yeah. Okay, so you have to find out the subject. Let's do it together. The okay, the, which is a determiner, definite article. The move is a noun. Now we have a comma here, which means some extra information is going to come, right, which is a first in the state. So we're giving some extra information about the noun move, right? The move, which is a first in the state, right? This is extra information. Obviously, this is handy. This is good, right? This is good information to have in the sentence, right? But this is extra. It's not modifying the noun move. We already know which move the speaker is talking about, right? The move of making all these 8 archaeological sites a part of revenue land records. Okay, so the move, which is a first in the state, you can just cancel it out. You can take it from the sentence, right? And the sentence will still be fine. The move, so let's not read it. Which is a first in the state is an adjective. This is an adjective clause, non-essential adjective clause. Adjective clause, non-essential. Why are we calling it non-essential? Because it's not giving essential important information about the noun move. It is giving extra information about the noun move, right? So it has which, the subject, pronoun, the subject of the clause, is the main verb, linking verb. A first in the state is the subject complement, a noun phrase. Okay, so the move, comes is the verb. So this is the subject. The move is the subject. Okay, the move is the subject. Comes is the verb. Okay, is the verb. Comes when. Now we have information that talks about the time of the action. After the incident in the same district where another yet another historical Mankavati Kund near the temple of goddess Tulja Bhavani was encroached upon by a local politician who made fake land documents by which he claimed the ownership of it. This entire phrase, this entire phrase, sorry, this is a clause. Okay, this is a clause. This is, okay, this is gonna be fun. All right, wait. This is gonna be fun, guys. Wait. Okay. So, this is an adverb clause of time. So, the move is the subject. Comes, it comes when. After is the conjunction. After is the conjunction. All right, conjunction. After. Now the subject of the sentence is, sorry, the subject of the clause is after. Wait, where is it? Near the temple. Sorry, after the incident. This is the subject. The incident. The incident in the same district. In the same district where yet another historical Mankavati Kunda, which is near the temple. This, we're just talking about the subject, right? The subject hasn't ended yet. Near the temple of goddess. This is great. Goddess Tulja Bhavani. Now was encroached, right? This is the verb phrase, was encroached. So this entire thing, the incident in the same district where yet another historical MK was MK Mankavati Kunda near the temple of goddess Tulja Bhavani. This is the subject of this adverb clause. Okay, so okay, let's change the color. So after is the conjunction, the incident in the same district where yet another historical Mankavati Kunda near the temple of goddess Tulja Bhavani was encroached upon by a local politician who made fake, encroached upon, Tulja Bhavani. Till here, this is the subject of this adverb clause, right? Was encroached upon is the verb phrase. Was encroached upon, and this is in the passive form voice because we're not talking about who encroached the property, right? We're just talking about what happened to the property. It was encroached, right? So we have the conjunction, we have the subject of the clause, we have the verb phrase, and encroached by, we have the doer of the action as well, the subject, right? By a local politician. Now, by whom? By a local politician, noun phrase, and adverb clause, sorry, adjective clause that is giving information about the noun politician. Politician who made fake land documents. Who made fake land documents. Now we have another clause, adjective clause, documents by which he claimed the ownership of it. Documents by which, now this clause by which he claimed the ownership of it is giving information about the noun documents. What type of documents by which he claimed the ownership of it. All right, using it, he claimed the ownership of it. So it does give information about the noun documents, and it's little different from a generic adjective clause as well. So see, we have, okay, let's clear everything first of all. This sentence has a lot of information in it. A lot, guys. This is beautiful. So this is the subject. Wait. This is the subject. This is, which is first in the state, is an adjective clause giving extra information about the noun. Move, subject, right? Comes is the verb. This is the verb. After the incident in the same district where yet another historical Mankavati Kunda near the temple of goddess Tulja Bhavani was encroached upon by a local politician who made fake land documents by which he claimed the ownership of it. This is an adverb phrase that is giving information about the verb comes. Comes after the incident in the same district. Incident which is in the same district where yet another historical Mankavati Kunda, where near the temple, Kunda, which is near the temple of goddess Tulja Bhavani, was encroached upon by whom? By a local politician. Now we have information about the non-politician who made fake land documents by which he claimed the ownership of it. Okay, so this is why this move came. This is why somebody made this move. Okay, because a politician in that district made fake documents and encroached the property and claimed the ownership of it. Okay, so this is a complex sentence. It has a lot of dependent clauses, right? Adjective clauses and adverb clauses in it, right? So this is a complex sentence. Okay. Next sentence. All right. So it starts with the quotation marks. See, it starts with the quotation marks. So this thing is going to be a quote. It's going to come from somebody. I have given, I is the subject, have given is the verb phrase. I have given what? Orders. Why? To file a criminal case against the person giving information about the noun case. So subject, verb phrase, object, infinitive phrase, okay, and this is prepositional phrase, gives information about the noun case against the person. Okay, okay, let's change the color of the pen. So he says, I have given orders to file a criminal case against the person who made fake documents and claimed the ownership of this temple, right? We cannot let individuals, we subject cannot let, verb phrase, right? Subject, verb phrase, individuals, let whom? Individuals, this is the object, and this is, let is the causative verb here, right? Let somebody do something. So we cannot let whom? Individuals what? Do something. Use historical monuments for personal profits, right? So subject, verb phrase, object, and this action is done by the object of the verb. We cannot let individuals do something. Do what? Use historical monuments for personal profits. Use what? Historical monuments. Use historical monuments for what purpose? Monuments for personal profits. So personal profits prepositional phrase giving information about the noun monuments, right? We subject cannot let verb phrase individuals object, and this is uh, giving information. This is basically an action that is done by the object, right, which is individuals. Individuals use historical monuments for personal profits. Bare infinitive phrase. All right. Okay. Let's clear it. Give me a second. So the code says, I've given orders to file a criminal case against the person. Simple sentence, subject, verb phrase, object, prepositional phrase, modifier. Okay. We cannot let individuals use historical monuments for personal profits, right? Again, a simple sentence. All right. Let's move to the next page. Directors, the code continues. The directors subject. Give me a second, guys. Director subject have been given verb phrase. This is verb phrase in the passive voice, because we're not talking about who has given the orders, right? Or who has given something. We don't know what that is, right? Directors have been given given what? To make appropriate changes in land records as well. Given what? To make appropriate changes in land records as well, right? Adverb phrase, given what? To make appropriate changes in land records as well. This is the object of the verb given, right? And this has been given by somebody. Who that person is, we don't know, because it's in the passive voice. In the passive voice, we don't focus on the person who does the action, right? We focus on the object of the verb. Directors have been given to make what? Appropriate changes in what? In land records as well, right? As well. And who is this entire quote coming from? Said Kaustubh Divgayankar. Said Kaustubh Divgayankar, who is a collector where in Osmanabad. Said this entire piece is coming from Kaustubh Divgayankar, who's a collector in what place? Osmanabad. In which place? Osmanabad. All right. Okay. So he said everything, that we cannot let these individuals make profit out of these monuments, right? And directors have been given to make appropriate changes in land records as well, so that it doesn't happen again. Okay. Said Kaustubh Devgayankar, who's a collector, where in Osmanabad. Okay. He said that the incident was also the trigger behind the move to safeguard 8 archaeological sites at Ter by including them in the land revenue records. So he's the subject, said is the verb. He said what? That the incident was also the trigger, result, right? Trigger behind the move to safeguard 8 archaeological sites at Ter. There by including them in the revenue land records. This is what he said. So he is the subject, said is the verb, whatever he said is the object of the verb said. He said what? He said this, that the incident land records. This entire thing is the object of the verb. Now what exactly is it? It is a noun clause. Now let's talk about what we have in this noun clause. Let's do that. So we have the conjunction that, that the incident, we have the subject, the incident is the noun, that is a premodifier, noun phrase. He said that the incident is the main verb, linking verb, was also adverb. What? Also was what? The trigger, subject complement, trigger in what way, right? Behind the move, prepositional phrase giving information about the noun, trigger, object, right? That the incident, subject, was helping verb, also modifier, adverb, right? The trigger, object, behind the move, prepositional phrase giving information about the noun, trigger. Why trigger behind the move? In what manner, in what way? Why? To safeguard 8 archaeological sites. To safeguard 8 archaeological sites, where? At Ter. How? By including them in the revenue land records. So after behind the move, we have an infinitive phrase, that is to safeguard 8 archaeological sites where at that, right? To uh, particle, the part of the infinitive, safeguard is the verb. So infinitive, 8 archaeological sites is the object of the infinitive. To safeguard what? 8 archaeological sites where at Tar, sorry, there. How? By including them in the revenue land records. That is again a prepositional phrase, right? Talking about the manner in which or how it was done. Adverb phrase, by including them in the land revenue land records. Hope it is understood. Okay, let's continue reading. I need water. This is how you read, guys. If you understand all these topics, all these things we have in the English language, and you understand how these things work, it is absolutely easy to read anything. Anything. If it's a book, novel, a newspaper, a journal, whatever it is, however challenging it is, it will not be challenging for you guys if you know all these things, if you know the technicalities behind all these things, and you know how to identify these things, and you know the science behind these things, right? So I have topics on all these, I have videos on all these topics, right, separately. You can watch all these videos and master all these topics separately. All right, the website is also there, www.englishwithashish.com. Check the website out and learn all these topics. Okay. Okay. So he said this was done. This was also a result, a trigger behind the move to safeguard 8 archaeological sites at there by including them in the revenue land records. Again, the next sentence starts with quotation mark. At some places, excavations. So at some places is a modifying phrase. At is the preposition. It's basically a prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrase, but it's definitely going to modify something. A comma would have been better. At some places, excavations, that means a process of digging a hole into the ground, right? So let's suppose this is a piece of ground. So the process of digging it is called excavation, to excavate it. Okay. So at some places, excavation, this is the subject of this sentence, have been done. This is the verb phrase, have, helping verb, been, helping verb, done in the, done is the main verb in the passive form. Have been done. Excavations have been done. Obviously, somebody must have done that. Somebody must have excavated, whatever. But we're not talking about who did that. We're focusing on the object. At some places, excavations, it's a noun, right? Plural. Have been done where? On private land as well. As well. So we have excavations as the subject, have been done as the verb phrase. This is the subject. On private land is a prepositional phrase that is working as an adverb phrase of place, because it's talking about the place of the action. Excavations have been done where? On private land. On preposition, private land, object of the preposition. On where? Private land. As well. As well. Adding extra information as well. All right. At some places, and all these excavations have been done on private lands at some places. So this is again a prepositional phrase that is talking about the place of the action. At some places, these excavations have been done. Okay. A decade ago, 10 years ago, there is the subject. There was, linking verb, was main verb, was what? An incident. Okay, let's remove everything first of all. We'll have more space. Right. Give me a second, guys. Okay, cool. A decade ago, this is going to be an adverb phrase of time, I'm telling you. There is the subject, was is the verb, main verb, linking verb. There was what? An incident. Okay. So this is clear. This is the subject, this is the verb, linking verb, this is the complement, noun phrase. noun phrase. Okay. Incident where a farmer destroyed remains of a temple which was found under his land, fearing that the land would uh, under the land, where a farmer destroyed remains of the temple found under the land. This is, give me a second, guys. uh so where a farmer destroyed remains of a temple found under his land, right? This entire piece is giving information about the noun incident, right? There was an incident where, conjunction, a farmer, subject, destroyed, verb, where in this incident a farmer destroyed remains means whatever that is remained, remains of a temple, the remaining part of a temple, destroyed what? Remaining part of a temple, remains of a temple which was found under his land, right? So in this adjective phrase we have the conjunction where, we have the subject farmer, we have the verb destroyed, we have the object, and we have a past participle phrase. Past participle phrase giving information about the noun temple which was found under his land. Now whatever that's going to come is little tricky to understand, but we'll understand it. Nothing is difficult for us to understand. Okay. Let's do that. My throat, man, it's paining. Unbearable pain. Okay. There was an incident where a decade ago, this incident was there a decade ago, so it's talking about the time of the action, right? Adverb phrase of time, where a farmer destroyed remains of a temple found under his land. This temple was found, right? It can be changed into an adverb clause, that was found, right? Now it becomes an adverb clause, that was found under his land, right? Where a farmer destroyed remains of a temple found under his land. And why did he destroy this? Fearing that the land would be taken over by the government. And this is the reason why he did this. This is the reason why he destroyed remains of the temple which was found under his land. Fearing. Now a comma would be better, because this might look that the phrase is giving information about the noun land. This is land, it is land that is fearing. It's not the land that is fearing. How can a piece of land fear? A land is not a person that can have a feeling, right? It is the farmer that was fearing that the land would be taken over by the government, and that is why he destroyed the remains of the temple which was found under his land, right? At some places excavations have been done on private land as well. A decade ago, simple sentence, right? This is a simple sentence. A decade ago there was an incident where, right? So this is independent clause where a farmer destroyed remaining order. This is a complex sentence, right? There was an incident. This is an independent clause followed by an adjective clause followed by present participles, or so we have the past participle phrase, we have the present participle phrase. Beautiful. Again, a complex sentence. Okay. So hope you're understanding the meaning of the piece as well at the same time. Understanding is a present participle, right? Not generally used in continuous forms, but it's fine when you speak, right? We do use it in speaking, right? It is what it is, right? This is how it is. Okay, a decade ago there was an incident where a farmer destroyed remains of the temple. Inclusion inland records. This is the verb. So inclusion inland is the subject. This is the subject. What records? Inclusion in land. Records is the verb. Records as a protected site. How? As a protected site. Okay, wait. Wait, this is not the subject. Inclusion in land records. This is not a verb. I thought records is a verb here. Inclusion in land records. How? As a protected site. So wait. Apologies, guys. All right. Okay. So inclusion in land records as a protected site. This is the subject. Inclusion is the simple subject. Inclusion in what? In land records as a protected site. So inclusion in land records as a protected site, what would it do? It would mean, this is the verb phrase, helping verb, main verb, would, auxiliary verb, mean, main verb. It would mean what is the reason why they did that, why they included all these 8 sites? So inclusion in land records as a protected site would mean that nobody can destroy or claim ownership on excavated land for personal profits. Uh, for personal profits, he added. Okay. So the subject is inclusion in land records as a protected site. The verb phrase is would mean what? This entire thing, that nobody can destroy or claim ownership on excavated land for personal profits. This is a noun clause working as the object of the verb, right? Verb mean what? That conjunction nobody subject can destroy verb phrase or claim ownership, right? Compound verb phrase, ownership on excavated land, land that has been excavated, digged for personal profits, right? Claim ownership on what? On excavated land. For why? For personal profits. He subject, added verb. Okay, so this he's the subject, added is the verb, and this entire thing is the object of the verb added. This is getting messy. So he's the subject, added is the verb, and this entire thing is the object of the verb added. Okay, and in this object we have the subject, because it's a complete sentence, right? We have the subject, we have the verb phrase, and we have the object, and the object itself is a noun phrase, a dependent clause. Okay, but the dependent clause is a part of the independent clause, so we'll not call it a complex sentence, even though it has 2 types of clauses in it. But the dependent clause, the noun clause, is a part of the independent clause. Would mean, if I end the sentence here, inclusion in land records as a protected site would mean what? This is incomplete, so the object has to be there. All right, that's why I'll call it a simple sentence, but it does have a lot of information in it. All right, the last piece. Okay, let's do it. Mr. Divigayankar, sorry Mr. Divigayankar if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, said, this is the subject, this person is the subject, said is the verb, subject, said what? That he is also moving the proposal whereby by which all such sites will be deemed class 2 lens. So he said that he's also moving the proposal by which all sites that are close to this site, that are such in nature, will be considered class 2 lens, so that nobody takes advantage of all these sites and use it for their personal benefits. All right, so he said that conjunction of this clause, noun clause, he subject, is moving, verb phrase, also modifier, moving what? The proposal, by which, okay, adjective clause, that is giving, this is the adjective clause that is giving information about the noun proposal, by which all such sites, by which conjunction, all such sites, subject will be deemed, verb phrase, deemed what? Class 2 lens, object of the verb deemed. The same thing, we this has two clauses. uh, so this entire thing is one clause, okay? Subject, verb, object, but the object itself is a clause. Okay, but if I end the sentence here, if I simply say Mr. Devi Gayankar said, and I don't uh, say what he said, I don't add what he said, it will be incomplete. That is why it's important to have the object of the verb said, and that is why I'll call it a simple sentence. But the object of the verb said is a dependent clause. That is something you have to understand. Okay. Whew. Beautiful. Loving it still. Okay, this means doing this, right? Moving the proposal where by which all such sites will be deemed class 2 lens. This means, doing this means, this subject means verb, means what? Any transfer of such lens, transfer noun, any transfer of such lens would require, this means what? Any transfer of such lens would require the collector's nod. Nod means permission, right? Permission, all right? This means what? Any transfer of such lens. So this is basically any transfer of such lens would require the collector's nod is the object of the verb means, right? Object, and this is a noun clause. The conjunction that is implicit, it's there but it's not there, you cannot see it. It means that any transfer of such lens, subject, noun phrase, would require verb phrase of the object of the noun clause, right? Require what? The collector's nod, object, noun phrase, right? Nod is the main noun here. The premodifier, collector's premodifier. Okay, so after doing this, any len of such nature will require transferring of such lens would require the collector's nod. Until the collector gives their nod, their permission, right? You cannot transfer such lens. All right. Okay. Let's finish it, man. I'm exhausted. Whew. Okay. There, which is a village on the banks of the Tarna river. Now we know what this place is. It's a village. Ter, name of a place, right? So this information is extra, but yeah, it's handy. Ter, a village on the banks of Tarna river, right? And a positive phrase. An appositive phrase. Now, what is an appositive phrase? An appositive phrase is a noun phrase that renames the subject and gives another name to it, but extra information. Tar is a proper name, all right? So whatever information you give about it is going to be extra. So Tar, which is a village on the banks of the Tarna river, it's basically an adjective clause reduced to an appositive phrase. Ter, a village on the banks of the Tarna river, a noun phrase, right? A positive phrase, renames the subject there, gives another name. Was, verb, this is the subject, okay? There was a trade center. There was what? A trade center, object. For what? For centuries, talking about the time, okay? It was a trade center for centuries, for 100 years. Going as far back as the 3rd century BC, when it was called Tagar, right? It was a trade center for centuries. Now we're giving more information about it, going related to the time, going as far back as, present participle phrase starting with the present participle going as far back as the 3rd century BC. Now when it was called Tagar, this is an adverb phrase, this entire thing, clause giving information about the time, 3rd century when it was called Tagar. When conjunction it subject was was helping verb called main verb called what? Target object. What do you say? Fun? So this was the piece, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you loved it. And I'm gonna die, to be honest. Yeah. I'm gonna die. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something new today. Hope you're feeling more confident about some things, right? And just be a part of these sessions, right? Whenever I upload these sessions, watch them, ask a lot of questions. Write your doubts in the comment sections below, right? Whatever doubts you have, whatever questions you have, ask me in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you and answer questions. You can directly Instagram me. You can ping me on my Instagram page. You can join my Facebook group, right? You can join my Facebook group. You can join my IG page, Instagram page, right? Something happens here daily, on a daily basis. Infographics, short videos, right? Quizzes. So be a part of these platforms, right? And visit my website www.englishwithashish.com for detailed grammar lessons, right? Visit this website, and that is from my side today. Hope you enjoyed it. Right, I did, and I'm done. I'm tired. I'm dead. I'll see you guys soon. Till then, keep learning, have fun. I love you all. You know this. I'm out.